This is the video for page 280, 1 through 35 odd. You guys had 2 through 36. Okay, so find the degree of each term. So when you're finding the degree of the term, remember, you're going to, the definition for degree of a term says that it is the sum of the exponents of the variables. So with 4, there are no variables, it's a constant. So the degree of the term would just be 0, right? So we'll just write 0. No variable there. Now, this time we only have one variable, and its exponent is 2, so the degree of this term would be 2. Now here we have two exponents. We have x to the first and x squared. And so in order to find the term, the degree of the term, you add them together. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Remember, it's just the exponents of the variables. There's only one variable here, so the degree is 3. Okay, so we have 3 variables here. So we have 1, 3, and 5. You add them together. So you have 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9. So the degree of the term is 9. Okay, for number 11, they said find the degree of each polynomial and determine whether the polynomial is a monomial, binomial, trinomial, or all of these. So remember, a monomial is 1 term, binomial is 2 terms, trinomial is 3 terms, and then none of these would be anything more than 3. Okay, so this has 1, 2 terms. Remember, it's always separated by a plus sign or minus sign, so we know it's a binomial, and they want the degree of the polynomial. So remember, you take the term with the highest degree, and in this case, our first term has a degree of 1, and our second term has a degree of 0. So the degree of this polynomial would be 1. So it would be a binomial with degree of 1. Okay, here we've got 1, 2, 3 terms. So it's going to be a trinomial with degree of 2. Because our highest, this term here, has a degree of 2. This term here has a degree of 1. And this term here has a degree of 0. So the highest one is 2. Okay. Here we have just one term because there's no plus or minuses separating anything. So this is a monomial with a degree of 1 plus 2, because remember, we're just looking at the variables. So it's a monomial with a degree of 3. Alright, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is none of these, so it would just be a polynomial with a degree of, let's see, this one. So if you add these together, this one's 3. If you add these together, this one's 3, because remember, you're just doing the exponents. This one's just 1, and then this one's 4. So this is a degree of 4, because you always want to go with the highest when we're talking about the degree of a polynomial. Okay, now they want to know what p of 7 is. So which one are you going to plug into? You're going to plug into p of x or q of x. We'll plug into p of x, so we're going to do p of 7. Everywhere there's an x, we're going to put a 7. So 7 squared plus 7 plus 1. 7 squared is 49. Plus 7 plus 1. 49 plus 7 is 56. So p of 7 is 57. Okay. Okay, so q of negative 10. This time are we going to plug into p of x or q of x? Yep, q of x, because it says q of negative 10. So q of negative 10 is equal to 5 times negative 10 squared minus 1. Now what's being squared here? Just x, because there's no parentheses. So q of negative 10 is equal to 5. Negative 10 squared is 100 minus 1. 5 times 100 is 500 minus 1. So q to the negative 10, 500 minus 1 is 499. Okay, q of 1/4. So again, we're going to plug into the q one. So q of 1/4, everywhere there's an x, we're going to put a 1/4, is equal to 5 to the 1/4 squared, or 5 times 1/4 squared, minus 1. So q of 1/4 is equal to 5 times, now remember, we can do 1 squared over 4 squared, minus 1. Q to the 1/4 equals 5 times 1 squared is 1, 4 squared is 16, minus 1. Let's go ahead and put this 5 over 1, because we know we're going to be multiplying fractions there. Q to the 1/4 power is equal to, when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So 5 times 1 is 5, 1 times 16 is 16, minus 1, and we'll make it 1 over 1, because now we're going to subtract fractions. Q to the 1/4 power is equal to 5 over 16 minus 16 over 16, because we need a common denominator, and 16 over 16 is the same as 1. So, Q to the 1/4 power is equal to, 16 is my common denominator, and 5 minus 16 is negative 11. So Q to the 1/4 power is negative 11 over 16. Okay, simplify by combining like terms. So 5y plus y, that's the same as 5y plus 1y, which is 6y. 4x plus 7x minus 3. So 4x and 7x are like terms. So we're going to do 11x minus 3. You're going to stop right there because these are no longer like terms. 3 does not have an x on it, so you can no longer go any further than that. 4xy minus 3xy are like terms. So that's just going to become 1xy, which you don't really have to write the 1. So I'm going to cross them out because I'm done with those, and I'm going to see what I've got left. Plus 2x minus 1. None of those are like terms anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and circle my answer. So your answer is xy plus 2x minus 1, because you don't need that 1 in front of the xy. Alright, let's see. I've got a 7x squared minus x squared. That's going to become 6x squared. Cross those out because I used them. Negative 2xy plus xy is going to give me negative 1xy, which is just negative xy. And then I've got 5y squared plus 11y squared is going to give me plus 16y squared. And that's your answer there. And that's the whole video. I'm going to make a second video because it was actually supposed to be 2 homework assignments you guys had to do tonight. So I'm going to make a second video now, and you guys can watch both videos. You guys have a good night.